Good morning. What's up?
You just look like an athlete.
Huh?
You just look like an athlete.
Oh, stop it. I do everything I can to look like an athlete.
So I've got Michael. How are
Morning,
you?
boss.
Trey, how are you?
What's up, bud?
Look at you. There you go. Hey, get the camera, guys. Jesus got a little present for us. Jesus brought a little present.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
Wow. Now it's legit. Now
All right.
it's legit.
Now we don't have to worry about someone going, hey, Jack.
Jeff's not here. Come on, try to double me. Come on.
All the way.
Woo. Are you sure? Off. Woo!
Hey, Leon, go, shoot her.
Shoot it. There you go. 9-5. Good, Santini.
Cutter. We gotta do it. Oh, yeah, good.
There you go.
Oh. Good shot.
All right, guys, we're back at it. Collective Genius, Tampa, Florida. This is our quarterly event. Got in late last night, back to the hotel at 1 a.m. About 2 o'clock when we went to finally go to sleep. And, well, we woke up anyway at 5 a.m. to play basketball. It was not very good. I have to do it because this is my community, I promise, and kind of talk a little bit of trash to Eric Brewer, so I had to show up. Kind of wish I hadn't, but you know, it is what it is. So today I get to be an ambassador for a new member for the Collective Genius community. So what that means is I get to introduce them to everyone else in the Collective Genius. Now, the goal for this event is to answer just a few key questions. What are everyone's thoughts on the market? How do they feel about it? And what are they doing to take advantage of it? Hopefully, by the end of this event, we'll have very crystal clear answers as to what to do to take advantage of this upcoming market shift. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Show's on the road, guys. Let's go.
Oh,
You need that iPhone?
please.
What are you doing there?
Drugs.
We change together.
Hopefully there's a couple nuggets in this presentation that you can bring back that's helping us get through this shifting market. We're about 225 deals done for the year. On track to do about 400 or 500 in San Diego. This is our market 90 days ago. This property here was a 4-bed, 2-bath. It was listed for $949,000. Small galley kitchen, wasn't renovated that well. Within 48 hours, it got 10 plus offers, went $111,000 over list price, and it sold for $1,060,000 to a conventional buyer with 3.25% rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage. This was happening. This was February. February, like, that was just yesterday, right? I mean, it was Valentine's Day. It felt like it, right?
All those numbers that even Fish is showing. You know those numbers too.
Oh yeah, a lot of them.
Man, we have such a long ways to go in our business. All right, Eric, so we're wrapping up day one, and you just gave an amazing presentation.
Oh, thank you.
I got a few questions. The first question is, what are your thoughts right now as to what's happening in the market?
I think a lot of people are wondering exactly, where's this going? What should I do?
Yeah.
General feelings of the market. Well, we haven't seen this type of rate increase this quickly, maybe in forever, right?
Not in my professional career.
Yeah, not in my professional career either. And so what's happening is it's putting a lot of stress on affordability. Certain markets are going to feel a little bit less because that affordability still might be there. Right, you might have a market where 40% of your median income home is going to be purchased by, or 40% of your population can afford your median priced home. Where other markets, like our market, for example, it's a little bit more condensed. We're closer to that 17% mark. And so when rates rise this quickly, you get crunched on affordability. And what happens to those homes? If they need to sell them, those buyers might not be there anymore because those prices that they might be having list at were adjusted for, let's call it a 3.5% rate or a 3% rate. And now we're looking at 5.5%, 6% for a lot of our conventional products.
And you gave a specific example on $1 million home.
Yes.
What that jump and increase equated to.
Sure.
What was that number?
Yeah, so our underwriting on a home where we might be reselling for $1 million, which is really common in our market, we might have been offering $750,000 roughly, putting about $100,000 into the renovation, and looking to get a 10% total return on our project costs.
Yeah.
Now that same home, because of affordability, that buyer might not afford $1 million. And the way that we're looking at with this interest rate hike, we're probably going to be about 10% less currently. And so we're now underwriting that home. Instead of a $1 million exit, we're looking at a $900,000 exit. Our rehab costs are going up because we're going nicer in our renovations. Yeah. Our project time is going up. And also we want more margin in the deal for additional downside that could still happen if they continue to raise rates.
But part of the underwriting is because you're underwriting based off what the payments are. So like it was $1 million home.
Right.
Now you're saying maybe a $900,000 home because of payments.
Yeah, exactly. That payment probably increased. And I know it increased about 20 to 22% from just about 90 days ago or less. Yeah. So we're looking at least $1,000 more in payment.
Yeah. So how do you feel about like everything that's going on?
I think it's going to create opportunity. They're going to probably stress the market a bit, especially in areas that are less affordable. I think you're going to feel a lot of the stress. How long it continues and how much more goes into it are some of the variables. Yeah. And I think everyone just has to adjust their strategies. And you can be very successful in a market like this. You just need to start to adjust what you're doing. You need to probably get a little bit leaner with some of your expenses.
But you got to make it through this kind of like valley of death, perhaps.
Yeah, this is the toughest part.
Right, where the sellers still want this.
Right.
And we want to offer this.
Yes.
So we were here. They want this. We want this.
Right.
So you got to survive this valley of death and keeping revenue going.
Right.
While or we got this delta in offers.
Yeah, this is the hardest part in any market is that shift, especially the downshift, right?
Yeah.
And if shifts in the up direction, everyone's a genius. Yeah. But that downshift is the hardest part. So.
Yeah. So what are 2 to 3 biggest things you're doing to adjust right now to this market?
Yeah. One of those we just talked about was underwriting.
Yeah.
When we're underwriting a deal, we need a lot more margin into it. Those conversations are also now changing too with sellers. There's some anchored price expectations. Sellers saw their neighbor's home sold call it 90 days ago or 6 months ago, get some crazy offers even if for another
Zillow
fixer.
says my house is worth.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Said my house is worth.
Exactly, yeah. And so having that conversation will, unfortunately, we're now in a declining market, at least in our market. Affordability is getting crunched. If you need to sell this thing, unfortunately, we're not where we currently were at. However, by selling now, it might protect from future downside. We were willing to take on that risk. We don't love it. We're not loving this, but we're not going to chase it, and no one else is either, right? And so what will end up happening is we'll walk away from appointments, educating the consumer that, look, I don't think there's another game in town either that's going to offer more because of the additional risk.
With a lot of fun stopping the buying.
Yeah, fun stopping buying. Just your everyday mom and pop are getting a little bit more conservative. Your other flipping groups in your market.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. You're going to be coming on the podcast soon.
I am. Yeah, I'm excited for it in August.
All right, that's awesome. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thanks, Steve.
What they're doing inside of their business that still goes back to Marcus's 10 things and how they're doing it. By a show of hands.
How you feeling?
Great. Yourself?
Horrible. Knees are just outdoor. Getting old, too old for outdoor. Are you actually a year older than me?
45.
Okay, so a couple years older than me.
Yeah.
So you're moving a lot better than I am.
Well, that's because I do run so much now.
Yeah.
I don't play as much. Well, now I have 3 more times to play because I'm playing select.
You play Wednesdays now?
We play in select Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Those are a little tougher. Those are a little younger guys.
So good. Cool.
Plus, that is not going to require a whole lot of brain capacity having dinner with you, so it's not like, you know what I mean? It's like a...
We have the camera on, otherwise I'd open hand slap you.
More signs of recession. Increase in interest rates. Have interest rates gone up? Why does the Fed raise interest rates going into a recession? They need bullets when they come out. Fixed costs have gone up. Has anyone seen interest rates go up? How about inflation? How about the cost of supplies? How about supply chain? Foreclosures follow. Who's tracking NOIs in their market? Who's tracking pre-foreclosures? You should be. If you're not, talk to 80/20, talk to Audanic. They both have lists. Buy their data, get on it. For 2 years, we had 0 leads that came from pre-foreclosure. We've had over 150 leads in the last month, all pre-foreclosure. Pay attention to it. The market is there.
All right, so we just wrapped up day 1, and wow, I cannot believe the amount of information everyone presented. And then you just wrapped it up, put a ribbon on the whole thing. So obviously, we can't go into all the great details, but it was one of the most eye-opening presentations. So I guess just a few quick questions, because there's a little bit of uncertainty in the market. So like, what are your thoughts as to what's going on a macro level right now?
Okay, so from a macro level, if you're not a member of the Collective Genius, look us up. This is where you can get incredible information about being a real estate investor. But on the macro level, the market's changing.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? Interest rates have gone up significantly, and what you can buy today is very, very different than what you could buy 4 months ago. And that's gonna have a major impact on the marketplace. And people are starting to feel that. We had historical low amounts of inventory, like days or weeks, where in the normal market, there's about 4 months of supply.
Right.
So what that means in English is this. Let's say you're in a market where they sell 1,000 houses on the MLS a month. There's usually 4,000 houses on the market at a time, and a quarter of those turn. But most people don't understand that. So that's what's happened is we've gone from a few weeks to now roughly 2 months. And that's changing the market.
It is, yeah. So knowing that it's changing, how do you feel about everything that's going on right now?
So I think that the most important thing is to be brutally honest about yourself and your business, right? Do you have skeletons in your closet? And if so, what are they? If there's those skeletons, how do we work through them? And I think some of the things you can talk about is cash, right? Like right now, cash is a life preserver. If you don't have cash in your business, you should think about how do you get it? Do you do it through sale? Do you do it through refinance? Do you do it through lines of credit? Whatever it is, cash is going to be something that's going to help us sustain going forward, and I think that's something you should pay attention to.
Yeah, I mean, after your presentation, for sure, when I get back, I'm going to all the banks. I'm going to be asking for lines of credit. So what are 1 or 2 things that someone should do right now to protect themselves in this upcoming shift?
So the first thing I would do is I'd look at my balance sheet, and I would talk, and I would look at my cash flow every month, right? I would say, all right, how much money is coming in the door every month? How much do I spend? Am I spending any money that I don't necessarily need to spend? And if you don't need to spend it, stop spending it. That's 1.
Yeah.
2, where do you have accounts receivable? Accounts receivable is money you can collect. Get that money as quickly as you can. In our business, it's realizing it through listings or realizing it through wholesale deals. If there's things hanging out there, get them done before people get cold feet and decide not to come through.
Yeah.
So those are the things you should chase. And then I would look at your business as a whole and think about, if the market goes down 10%, 20%, 50%, what does my business look like? Hopefully it doesn't, but it does. And if it does happen, there's nothing you can do about it except be prepared and get in front of it and try. That's it.
So right now, myself personally, our team, everything that we have that we own, right now we're more focused on selling it versus maximizing profit. Do you think I'm crazy?
No, I think now's a good time to be prudent. I wouldn't say give things away, but I would think speed will be rewarded. As an example, right? So you live in Phoenix, I live in Richmond, Virginia, very different markets. Our market, there's still a strong discretionary move up market. So in our market, that's $800 to $1 million. What we're doing with some of these things that are going to come due in the late summer, early fall, is we're going to get them on the market as pre-sales, which we don't usually do because we want to get the inventory out there, and if people can lock their interest rates in, a lot of these things can happen.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, Collective Genius, if you guys get into it, get to listen to Frank speak on stage and wow, give some of the most well thought out bits of wisdom. It's actually kind of crazy. So I'm really honored that I get to listen to all of that.
You're my man, Steve Trang.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you, buddy.
We just wrapped up the first day and wow, it's crazy what we picked up today. So there's a lot of uncertainty going on to this market. And when we came here, we were hoping to pick up some nuggets, basically, what people's thoughts are, how they feel about it, what actions they're going to take. And, we got to learn about figuring out your purpose with Gary Harper for your teams. Marcus Krugler went over the 10 things you need to do to prepare yourself financially to dominate this market. And then we had Rob Neilinger, Casey Ames, Dan Lane, Fish, Eric Idison go over what they're doing right now in their respective markets to, again, prepare to dominate this upcoming market. And Frank Kava just came in and just laid the hammer on exactly what we need to do to take advantage of what's going on in this upcoming shift. Because we don't know what it's going to look like in the next 6 to 24, maybe 30 months, but something's happening, and those that are best prepared to take advantage of the market are the ones that are going to thrive. I've got 2, 3, maybe 4 actionable items that we're going to implement immediately when we get back to Phoenix. And that's it for today. Now we get to go and relax, go grab some drinks, go grab a dinner, hang out, and go have some fun, and we'll be right back at it tomorrow.